In his foreword to Father Myerscough's 1956 work, The Martyrs of Durham and the Northeast, the late Bishop McCormack of Hexham and Newcastle stressed something of lasting importance, that the often harrowing stories of the Catholic martyrs of the Protestant Reformation must never be forgotten, but preserved and told across the ages. What we have seen is a story that stretches across generations. It begins with a pilgrimage of grace, echoes again in the rising of the Northern Earls, and is framed between two defining moments: the dissolution of the monasteries at the beginning, and, at the end, the death of Father Thomas Mudd. This humble priest became a living thread, connecting a broken yet enduring tradition. In his old age, imprisoned in the squalid North Blockhouse of Hull Castle, he succumbed to what was recorded as sore sickness, an illness no doubt made worse by the harsh and degrading conditions of his confinement. And yet, Father Mudd represented something far greater than himself. He stood as a living link to a Catholic tradition in England that stretched back over 1,000 years. But once the training of priests within England became impossible, it was only a matter of time before that link would begin to fade. Some might argue that the faith can survive without priests, and history does offer examples of this communities that preserved belief for decades, even centuries, without access to the sacraments. But such a situation could never be left to chance. The Church of the 16th century faced a grave reality: the potential loss of one of its oldest daughters, and with it, the loss of countless souls. There was only one answer. Priests would have to be trained abroad, and then secretly returned to a land now hostile to their very existence. These men became known as seminary priests. Many came from the Society of Jesus, the Jesuits. They were often young, well-formed, courageous, and fully aware that upon returning home, they might never even celebrate a single Holy Mass before capture and certain death. And then, in 1584, the danger intensified beyond imagination. The English Parliament passed an act against Jesuits, seminary priests, and such other like disobedient persons, known simply as the Jesuits' Act. From that moment on, to be a Catholic priest in England was to be considered a traitor. Discovery meant imprisonment, torture, and almost certainly execution. The sentence was brutal beyond words: to be hanged, drawn, and quartered. It is difficult even now to comprehend the horror such a spectacle must have inspired, for those who witnessed it, even those who sympathized. Fear alone could break the strongest resolve. Some did fall away, out of terror, self-preservation, or the desire to protect those they loved. And yet, not all. There remained those for whom fidelity and love of God outweighed every earthly fear. Often, it was members of the gentry who made this resistance possible. They opened their homes, manor houses, and estates, transforming them into hidden sanctuaries. Here, priests could offer the sacraments, sometimes living in secret among those they served. But danger was never far away. The agents of the state, pursuivants, and informers were always searching. Discovery meant consequences too terrible to contemplate. And so, ingenuity became essential. Priests traveled in disguise, under false names. Hidden chambers, priest holes, were built into the walls of great houses. Remote locations were chosen for worship, places where lookouts could stand watch. Mass was sometimes celebrated in caves or near streams and watercourses, allowing escape routes if soldiers or hunters approached. Even dogs, used to track them, could be misled by water. But perhaps the greatest danger of all was betrayal. Neighbors, friends, even family members, could turn. And still, the faith endured. Because this small remnant of Catholics held something unshakable. Not ignorance, but a deep and conscious love of truth. A love of the goodness, the beauty, and the saving power of the faith. They risked everything, not only for themselves, but for generations yet to come. And today, we owe them more than we can ever fully repay. Their courage, their sacrifice, their unwavering fidelity remains a light in our own time, and their story must never be forgotten.
No banners, no parade, just names they couldn't carry and vows they couldn't trade. The world they left behind them now called them enemies, but they had heard a calling that whispered through the seas. No crown, no earthly glory,